Shalom, shalom. I want to give all honor, praise, and glory to the Most High God Yahweh in the name of His begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, the anointed Savior of Israel. Salakia for this. I'm going to get back on to it. Today we're going into Proverbs, the 16th chapter. And it reads, forgive me, I'm using a new app. I'm trying to organize this, right? Chapter 16, verse 1. The preparations of the heart in man, and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. All the ways of man are clean in his own eyes, but the Lord weigheth the spirits. Commit thy works, the spirits, right? The rock, right? The spirit. The ruach, right? Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. The Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. The wicked, right? The morally wrong, right? Excuse me. A bad person, condemned, the guilty, the ungodly, the wicked man, right? Every one that is proud in his heart is an abomination to the Lord. You got a lot of brothers dealing with different levels of pride, man. We got to get rid of that pride. You know, you think you're higher than what you really are. You know what I'm saying? Humble yourself down. Proud in the heart, and your heart is your mind, right? Your feelings, the way your intellect, like it says here, right? Your understanding is proud. Your regard is proud. Look at that. So that breaks down pretty deep when you go into the pride of the heart. You know what I'm saying? It's an abomination to the Lord, though hand join in hand, he shall not be punished. By mercy and truth iniquity is purged, and by the fear of the Lord men depart from evil. And that's what you have to do. You have to pray daily that you depart from whatever evils that's harboring within your heart and your mind. And you use holy days, or you use days of fasting, to be able to rid yourself of whatever that evil that's within your heart. Purge it out, right? What does it mean to purge? Purge means to cover figuratively, to expiate or condone or placate or cancel, appease, to make atonement and cleanse, disannul, forgive, be merciful, pacify, pardon, purge away, put off, and make reconcile. So that's what it means. So that's what we got to do when it comes to purging evil, right? When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies be at peace with him, right? As long as you move in according to thus saith the Lord, you move in, with meek and lowliness. You know what I'm saying? Even your enemies gonna be at peace with you. It's like, especially the enemies within your own house. If you pleasing the Lord, how they gonna be mad at you if you just dealing in righteousness? You know what I'm saying? They can't be mad at you, right? You're not giving nobody a reason, right? Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues, right? Without righteousness. A man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directeth his steps. A divine sentence is the lips of the king. His mouth transgress not judgment. Not in judgment, excuse me. A just weight and balance are the Lord's. Man, we're supposed to be the kings and priests of Israel, the righteous judges, right? So we have to always deal with a just weight and balance. There can't be no hypocrisy in what we're talking about. It has to be righteous weight and judgment. All the weights of the bag are his work. It is an abomination to kings to commit wickedness. And if we're supposed to be operating as kings, as the anointed, right, of royalty, right, we see ourselves as adopting that nationhood, the nation of Israel. So if we a king, we're supposed to act like a king. right? And it's an abomination to a king to commit wickedness. So we have to stay away from wickedness, purge the wickedness. For the throne is established by righteousness, right? Righteous lips are the delight of kings, and they love him that speaketh right. The wrath of a king is as messenger. I even named my son. My son's name is King. So, I'm trying to, move as a king would in all aspects, right? And I gotta meditate on that daily too. You know what I'm saying? Move like a king, right? In righteousness, right? The wrath of a king is as messengers of death, but a wise man will pacify it. In the light of the king's countenance is life, and his favor is a cloud of the latter rain. How much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather than be chosen than silver? Rather to be chosen than silver, right? Because a wisdom will carry you to the kingdom rather than gold carry you for a short while. You know what I'm saying? And with wisdom, you can gather gold. You know what I'm saying? With wisdom is the principal thing. And then everything else comes after that. All your needs and wants come after that. You know what I'm saying? But when you establish wisdom, it'll keep you alive. You know what I'm saying? Wisdom keeps your life. You know what I'm saying? And understanding rather to be chosen than silver. Right? We want to be of the elect. We want to be chosen of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? We want the Lord to deal with us. So it's more precious than gold and silver. The highway of the upright is to depart from evil. That's the path that we're supposed to be on, right? He that keepeth his way preserveth his soul. Pride goeth before destruction, and the haughty spirit before a fall. A lot of our sisters deal with the haughty spirit. Elegation, grandeur, arrogance, excellency, haughty, height, high, loftiness, pride. Yeah, this we're being proud. Being haughty means to be proud, simply put. And a lot of our sisters dealing with the haughty or the haughty spirit. And so do brothers, you know what I'm saying? Like an entitlement, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody owe you something. Nobody owe you nothing, man. You gotta reap what you sow, Better it is to be of a humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. Right? The lowly. What does lowly mean, right? Gentle of mind, needy, especially saintly, humble, lowly, meek, poor. You know what I'm saying? Low. You know what I'm saying? Depressed figuratively, like not thinking too much of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Operating in a meek manner. Poor, like not coming like you greater than anybody. Not the opposite of proud, right? He that handleth a matter wisely shall find good, and whoso trusteth the Lord, happy is he. The wise in heart shall be called prudent, and the sweetness of the lips increaseth learning. Understanding is a wellspring of life unto him that hath, and to him that hath it, right? But the instruction of fools is folly. The heart of the wise teacheth his mouth, and addeth learning to his lips. Pleasant words are as a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and health to the bones. There is a way that seemeth right. Salakia, got these pop-up things. I might change up my style, how I'm doing this. Let's use it as a reference. All right. So forgive me. There is a verse 25. There is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but at the end thereof there are ways of death. He that laboreth for himself, for his mouth craveth it of him. An ungodly man diggeth up evil. You got a lot of brothers laboring for themselves too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, you know, when you laboring, when you teaching the word, you're supposed to be doing it to edify other people. You know what I'm saying? Some brothers is out there on a rant, like going out there and they doing their therapy themselves. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be in that kind of spirit. You know, your word when you teaching in the street, when you putting out, you know, whatever you putting out, you know, it's to edify other people. You know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to be for edification for yourself. Don't go on a rant, something off topic of the biblical discussion. You know what I'm saying? Or off topic of edification. An ungodly man diggeth up evil, and his lips there is a burning fire. A froward man soweth strife. Go into that froward man, perverse man, a fraud, very forward, a perverse thing, right? Does it come out on the bottom? How does this work? Oh, that's lit. Let me do this real quick. Yeah, that's cool. Right. All right, copy. And a whisperer separateth cheap friends. A violent man is, yeah, you shouldn't be, you know, going behind somebody's back talking about the next man. If you're in that type of vibes, if you're in that type of spirit, then you know, you got to pray to the Lord to get that off you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our brothers and sisters do that, especially sisters is dealing with gossiping. You don't want to separate chief friends. You know what I'm saying? A violent man enticeth his neighbor, and leadeth him into the way that is not good. Right? He shutteth his eyes to devise forward things. Moving his lips, he bringeth evil to pass. The hoary head is a crown of glory, if it be found in the way of righteousness. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. Let's run that back. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. The lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposing thereof is of the Lord. So we get into chapter 17 as well, right? Chapter 17. Better is a dry morsel, right? A dry morsel, a dry path, a piece of morsel, right? A dry piece of meat, right? That's the word for path? I mean, morsel is path. That's interesting. I gotta look that up further, right? But a morsel is a piece of meat, right? Better is a dry morsel and quietness therein than a house full of sacrifices with strife. That's interesting, right? Than a house full of sacrifices with strife. Better is a dry morsel and quietness therewith than a house full of sacrifices with strife. Right. I mean, you could meditate on that. My understanding of what that's breaking down to is pretty much like the things that are in your household. You know what I'm saying? Got with gained with, you know, gain within a wicked manner. You know what I'm saying? When you sacrifice your time in a way where it's bringing forth strife, like robberies and stuff like that. If you got a house full of things that, you know, you gained with that type of means, it's better to have a dry morsel, you know, a dry piece of meat, which is like a you know, like a poor portion, a beggar's portion, like a poor man's portion rather than a rich man's portion full of sacrifices of strife, right? Strife meaning controversy, adversary, you know, like contentious, you know what I'm saying? Dealing with like in a foul way, you know what I mean? So it's better to have a dry morsel and quietness therein than a house full of sacrifices with strife, right? With arguing or contention. A wise servant shall have rule over a son that causeth shame, and shall have part of the inheritance among the brethren. The finding pot is for silver, and the furnace for gold, but the Lord trieth the hearts. A wicked doer giveth heed to false lips, and a liar giveth ear to a naughty tongue. Whoso mocketh the poor reproach his maker. So you can't be out here mocking poor brothers and sisters out there, right? Because we're not supposed to be haughty. We're not supposed to be proud. We can't be mocking the poor. And he that is glad at calamities shall not be unpunished. So if you see in a misfortune of somebody, regardless of who it is, you're not gonna be unpunished for that. You know what I'm saying? You can't be making yourself be bigger because of the calamity of somebody else and the misfortune of somebody else, right? So we got to keep that in our mind, meditate on it, pray to the Lord for forgiveness for even committing that kind of act or thought on our mind, and then keep it moving. Children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children are their fathers. Real talk. You see a son, you see a kid, the kid's glory is his father. Well, a kid looks up to his dad. You know what I'm saying? A son looks up to his father. Be the man that you want your son to look up to. You know what I'm saying? And then you want to mold your son to be the man where his son could look up to him. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful and glorious what you call it? It's so beautiful and glorious the way the Lord set that up. You know what I'm saying? The way He created, us to have our sons. You know what I mean? And then you point your son not to be like you, but to walk in your steps, to walk after Hamashiach, who was the greatest man to ever walk this earth. You know what I'm saying? So we point in those steps to be a man like that. You know what I mean? But that's a beautiful, glorious thing. And I love my son, so I want him to be, I want him to be a man of the Lord. Excellent speech becometh not a fool. Much less do lying lips a prince. A gift is as a precious stone in the eyes of him that hath it. Whithersoever it turneth, it prospereth. Let's run that back. A gift is as a precious stone in the eyes of him that have it. Whithersoever it turneth, it prospereth. He that covereth a transgression seeketh love. Right? If you cover like your wrongdoing, you want people to love you, right? But he that repeateth the matter separateth chief friends. So if you slip up, you cover it up as far as like you don't want to offend your brother and sister if you did something foul. So you cover it up, make sure that it's cool, and you don't repeat what you did. You know what I'm saying? You repent from the things that you've done. You know what I'm saying? But he that repeateth the matter separate of chief friends. You don't want to keep transgression against your brothers and sisters out there, right? A reproof entereth more unto a wise man than 100 stripes unto a fool, right? An evil man seeketh only rebellion. Therefore a cruel messenger shall be sent against him. So you already know. You can see that right there, right? Bakwash, that's an elder in Israel. Shout out to that brother. Double honors to him. An evil man seeketh only rebellion. Therefore a cruel messenger shall be sent against them, right? And the messenger of the Lord, a cruel messenger, he gonna get hit in the head. the Lord gonna send a messenger to hit him in the head, boy. Let a bear robbed of her whelps meet a man. That's funny. Let a bear robbed of her whelps meet a man rather than a fool in his folly. Whoso rewardeth evil, and that word for evil is ra. You know what I'm saying? That word for evil is ra, and that's heavy. Because you got the other nations. That's one of the so-called gods of the other nation, or deities, or idols of the other nations. They reverence Ra. So our word for Ra is evil, right? Whoso rewardeth evil for good and good for evil shall not depart from his house. God, the beginning of strife is as when one letteth out water. Therefore, that's interesting. Therefore, leave off contention before it be meddled with. The beginning of strife is as when one letteth out water. Therefore, leave off contention before it meddled with. Right? He that justifieth the wicked and condemneth the just, even they both are an abomination unto the Lord. That's Hebrew Israelite 101, right? Let's read that again. He that justifieth the wicked. If you give it an excuse for a wicked man and condemn the just, if you say, look at the just, the brothers doing the work, or a righteous brother, and you trying to condemn them, even they both are an abomination unto the Lord. That's right. The wicked shall not go unpunished, right? Wherefore is there a price in the hand of a fool to get wisdom, seeing he have no heart to it? A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. Right? Let's look at that word adversity real quick. It's tightness, right? Adversity, affliction, right? Anguish, distress. A brother's born for your affliction, tribulation, trouble. You know, a brother's born to help their brother, you know what I'm saying, through a hard time, you know what I'm saying? A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. You know what I'm saying? Your brother's supposed to rock with you, right? That's why, you know, it's better to keep a strong brothers who starting out their camps, brothers who's starting out their congregations. You know, start small. It's not about a free for all. You know what I'm saying? As far as I see how certain brothers set it up. Brothers from the other camps, like Sakari, right? Shout out to those brothers. And I see how the brothers from the south, I forgot their name, Watchmen, you know what I'm saying? There's a couple other camps out there. I see how brothers set up their camps. The principle is, you know, you start with a solid few men, and then them men, you know, they you build them up, and they diligent. You don't need a lot of brothers. You need a few, but the brothers gotta be diligent. And like the scriptures say over here, where's it at? A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. You have to go through the adversity with your brothers. At that point, once you got that solid foundation of brothers that's diligent and consistent, that's when you can expand on your congregation. You know what I'm saying? To be able to, you know, reach off your hand further. But you know, try to make a solid bunch of men, because you know, I've been through different situations going in this truth, and brothers wasn't solid. We had a multitude of brothers, and you know, we wasn't built up properly, or certain brothers wasn't built up properly, and they have this doctrine, and these brothers have that doctrine, and then these brothers learn from these men, and then we bring in this, that, and the third in there. Like, nah, it can't be like that. That's not in order. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, running back, a friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. So that's a principle dealing with the brotherhood. You got to be born for adversity. You know, you should read that to the brothers that come into your congregation. A man void of understanding striketh hands and become surety in the presence of his friend. Right? That's lit. A man void of understanding striketh hands and become surety in the presence of his friend. Yeah, you know, you're trying to fight with your brother. He loveth transgression that loveth strife, and he that exalteth his gate seeketh destruction. His gate, what does that mean? Exalteth his gate. That's another saying of being proud, right? Exalteth his gate, because to exalt means like to big up, right? His gate. I'm trying to see what that means, but when I think of a gate, you know, that's the entryway to your city or your house. You know what I'm saying? So exalting your gait, basically dealing with a level of pride, right? So we could, we move on that another time. He that have a froward heart findeth no good, and he that have a perverse tongue falleth into mischief. Rah, evil, right? You can't have that perverse tongue, right? He that begetteth a fool doeth it to his sorrow. Begotteneth, right? And the father of a fool hath no joy. Yeah, man, that's the worst thing. You don't want to see your son, go into all manner of wickedness out there, right? It's gonna hurt your father's heart. Your father doesn't want you to be out there in the streets acting like a damn fool, right? So you have preventative measures. You give your son this word. You know what I'm saying? You teach him early in his youth, so that way he won't stray off to the right path. Because at that point you can't control your son. Your son has to make his own decisions. But you have to build him up. You know what I'm saying? To be able to survive. You know what I mean? Because Lord knows that all of us, even listening to this word, we had our moments where we were the foolish man out in that street. And the Lord was with us to come out of a lot of situations. We know that, what I'm saying? Life-threatening situations where we could have been in jail forever, you know what I'm saying? The Lord maneuvered us through those situations to this very point right now, when we're hearing the word and trying to discern the word and divide the word with truth, you know what I'm saying? So I'm a little under the weather, man. These devils got these these devils got these sprays in the sky, man. It make me feel like the devil got us out here feeling like low energy. A merry heart doth good like medicine. I definitely have that merry heart on a regular basis. I try to always look at the bright side of things, as far as being thankful for the Lord for giving us this truth, man. Because I just look at this society like, damn, man, yo, this society's collapsing before our eyes, but these streets, man, it's getting wicked. And the perversion is like spilling over our own lap. Can't even go outside without seeing a damn sodomite in a damn dress now, where I live in New York City, you know what I'm saying? But a broken spirit drieth the bones. A wicked man taketh a gift out of the bosom to pervert the ways of judgment. Wisdom is before him that hath understanding, but the eyes of a fool are in the ends of the earth. Right. That's so lit. Let me look at that again, right? Verse 24. Forgive me, because I'm feeling a little under the weather. Wisdom is before him that hath understanding, but the eyes of a fool are in the ends of the earth. I wish I could show. First of all, that's a flat earth cut. Yo, that's a flat earth cut. But not even dealing with that, right? I got a certain brother on my page, right? I won't even shout his name out, but he from them you got them cats that deal with Wapianism. And I got the brother on my page. He's a young brother. He's close to my age, right? So I asked him. I'm like, yo, because he has a different topic every day, and he puts himself. It's interesting because that brother, he puts himself out there to be like a guide for people, right? So he's like, yo, ask me any question you want and I'll answer it. Blah blah blah. He trying to get his subscribers up, right? So he's like, you got different people asking him questions that deal with that doctrine. But I asked him a question. I'm like, yo, yeah, I don't deal with, a lot. I noticed that a lot of his questions, a lot of the things that he deals with, it's kind of like the extraordinary things, as far as and he trying to deal with things in a spiritual aspect. Not in the regards of the Lord, but some, just out of the ordinary, extraordinary UFO kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So I asked him, yo, do you brothers subscribe to, how come you brothers don't deal with current events world events and things that affect our people right now at this moment, and he's like, no. You know what I'm saying? So it's like interesting because you got a lot of things going on in society right now. As of the date of 6/23/2019, you got. I'm just kick that. You know, I'm going on. I'm turning right, but we're gonna go back on the track. The track, right? You got. You got what you call it? You got the situation with the migrant the immigrant so-called immigrants, our brothers and sisters out there in basically concentration camps because they're supposedly undocumented immigrants, and they're being held in certain facilities out there in the South, right? Children, they're butt naked in there, they're not taking showers. You got all kind of molestation going on in there. Who knows? Lord knows what's going on in there. It's probably like that most hellish condition for anybody to be in, right? They got them in holding cells over there. Then you got an organization called ICE. Supposedly they're gonna come breaking down the door, waving the 4-4 on immigrants. Baby snatching. You know what I'm saying? You got reparations situation going on where they're trying to divide those born in America from those born in the Caribbean, from those born in Haiti, and the children of the diaspora, the diaspora. You know what I'm saying? ADOS, right? ADOS, right? You got a couple of different things going on, and it's interesting. It's like wisdom is before him that have understanding, right? But the eyes of a fool are in the ends of the earth. What I was bringing all that is to say this. It's like you got brothers and sisters out there that's in space. You know what I'm saying? And they're not dealing with, the tribulation that's in front of them. You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to have wisdom and understanding. Their mind is on a flat earth. Their mind is on galaxy, the ninth galaxy of risk. You know what I'm saying? Or their mind is on pickle men, or their mind is on, this imaginary stuff. But, they're not dealing in wisdom and understanding. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? That's not something that they trying to move on. You know what I'm saying? They're not really for the people. You know what I'm saying? They on their galaxy. They're on another galaxy trying to get brothers and sisters to buy their books. A foolish son is a grief to his father, and bitterness to her that bear him. Right, to the father and the mother. Bitterness, right? Forgive me, I'm sipping my little drink over here. Let me sipping a coffee. I'm trying to wake up. Forgive me. Y'all shouldn't even be drinking coffee. I shouldn't even be drinking coffee. Gotta cut that coffee off. Because if you didn't know, I know, but I gotta get off of this thing. That caffeine kills a lot of your natural adrenaline, so you shouldn't really be dealing with coffee like that. You know what I mean? Drink the teas and stuff like that in moderation. Also, to punish the just is not good, for to strike princes for equity, nor to strike princes for equity. He that hath knowledge spareth his words, and a man of understanding is of an excellent spirit. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted as wise. And he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding. So, just want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of His begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And brothers and sisters, there's a couple of different things that was established in these proverbs. For my brothers out there, operate as a king. You know what I'm saying? Operate as a king. Do what a king would do. You know what I mean? And teach your sons to walk in those steps. You know what I'm saying? And to our brothers and sisters, don't be haughty. You know what I'm saying? Don't be proud. Don't think of yourself something more than what you are. You know what I'm saying? Operate in a lowly and meek fashion, right? Also, don't make yourself above those that are poor or misfortunate. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is gonna judge you for that. You know what I'm saying? And by all means, don't operate in wickedness and foolishness. You know what I'm saying? operate with wisdom. Wisdom is a chief principal thing that we should be praying for daily, and letting the Lord be us of understanding. You know what I'm saying? Hold our peace, and shut off our lips. You know what I'm saying? Be accounted for as wise. And with that, I say shalom.